This is Lions on Tap, a weekly look inside the Lions Den. Highlights, interviews, and a look ahead to what's next for the Leos. Now, here are your hosts, Matt Baker, Nick Kowalski, and Bob the Moj Marjanovic.
Welcome to BC Lions on Tap on AM 730 in the Lions Audio Network. It's the Moj, Bob Marjanovic, along with Matt Baker and Nick Kowalski from the Lions social media team. Coming to you tonight from a packed Shark Club in downtown Vancouver, corner of Georgia and Cambie. Everybody's down here watching a little football, watching some hockey. Big thank you to Murray and his staff. And, of course, a big thank you to everybody with Molson Canadian for sponsoring the show. And a big shout-out to Sean Lanigan from Molson Canadian, who is here tonight at the Shark Club. Hey, the Shark Club is packed. So is this show. In the final segment, Tom Gaglardi, the owner of the Dallas Stars, in the house. We'll talk to Tom a little bit about what's going on with Dallas. Talk to him about, the CFL. Good friends with Lions owner Amar Doman. In the second segment, we will have CFL Commissioner Randy Ambrosie stop by. But in the very first segment, it is the president of the BC Lions, Duane Vienneau. And Duane, first off, welcome.
Thank you for having me, boys.
So, hey, we're all cranked up tonight.
I got the first show.
Hey, you're batting leadoff.
Yeah.
Tim Raines.
Love it.
Right? I guess let's start off with this weekend, and of course we've broken down the X's and O's, but it is a big weekend, Matt Baker, in terms of the ultimate Vancouver sports weekend.
Yeah, you just said it. Ultimate sports weekend. Lions Stampeders, of course, 3:30 Saturday. Canucks and Tom Gaglardi's Dallas Stars at 7. Whitecaps, Vancouver Whitecaps FC, our roommates at Save on Foods Field, BC Place, playing their playoff game against Los Angeles FC Sunday, 4:30. And our backyard brunch party. More on that later.
Yeah.
How good is this when you hear this menu, Moj, later? But we're going to have a bit of a presence from both teams in the works here at the tailgate.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for a few weeks. It's a big weekend. We're obviously playing our game on Saturday, and the Caps, which you've talked about, and the Canucks on Saturday night, and UBC's playing Saturday as well. And it's just a monster sports weekend. So we said, why don't we have try to get all the teams and support all the teams at our backyard party. So we're going to have some Canuck representation, we're going to have some Whitecap representation, and we're just basically want to celebrate the weekend and encourage everyone to come down and start the festivities at the BC Lions backyard party.
And we started that a little bit last Friday, Canucks Blues, VA. His shoulder's good, don't worry, after cranking that siren. Moj, I know you were there with us that night as well. It is a cool thing, that a rising tide raises all ships. Is that the saying? So when all the teams in the market are doing well, that's good for all of us.
Absolutely. And, I feel a real sense of everybody wants to cheer for everybody, and everyone wants everyone to do well, and we're all sort of in this together. So it's I'm looking forward to the weekend, and it's a good vibe going on in the sports community here right now.
That's one thing, and I'll be honest. I've been around this market for a long time. I don't want to say how long. But, I see other markets, and I just see the synergy they have between their teams in those cities. And it's nice to finally see that developing in Vancouver, where, the Canucks are coming out to a Lions game. The Lions are going to a Canucks game. The Whitecaps are involved. I mean, and Bake's right. You're right. I mean, when the tide comes in, all the boats in the harbor go up. So for me, it's great, and it's great to see this happening with all the sports teams in Vancouver.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we opened up our upper bowl for Saturday's game. It was similar to last year. We're expecting to be in the 30,000 range, and I know the Whitecaps have done the same thing, so they're going to have a great attendance. So I just think it's a great weekend for sports. And I heard, Bakes, this should be a trivia question. I heard that we haven't hosted a playoff game, and the Whitecaps haven't hosted a playoff game on the same weekend for a long, long time.
Yeah, and it's the first time ever that both teams are opening the Upper Bowl together. So,
yeah, it's exciting.
Great progress.
Absolutely.
All right, before we let you go, Duane, what else you guys got on tap? I know that Terry Fox Plaza will be busy. You got some other things. So, for people that are wondering about some of those pregame activities.
Basically, everything opens up at noon, so come early. The game's at 3:30. Come to the backyard party. It's the same vibe as it always is. We have famous players playing, the cheap drinks. We have a pancake breakfast and eggs and sausage, and it's just going to be a great time. Then we have at halftime. What do you want to talk about, Matt?
Well, I was going to say mimosas.
Absolutely, mimosas.
$5 Coors Light. So I might ask your permission to take a couple hours off on Saturday.
Just don't tell me. Yeah. And then we're playing at halftime as well. We have famous players playing halftime, so we have a bit of a great sort of rock show happening at the half, and it's going to be a good attendance. So we're looking forward to the game.
Well, I'll tell you what. Anything involving mimosas, count me in.
Absolutely.
All right, you guys might not even have to pay me. Just slide some mimosas. I'll be a happy camper.
Love it.
Duane, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, everyone.
That is Lions President Duane Vienneau. And look who's here. Bo Lacombo's in the house.
We got Giovanni
Robinson. So, yeah, it's a busy
We're building
place.
an audience, yeah.
The Shark Club tonight is the spot to be in downtown Vancouver. Quick break on the other side. CFL Commissioner Randy Ambrosie stops by to talk a little football with us. You're listening to BC Lions on Tap on AM 730 in the Lions Audio Network.
Now, back to Lions on Tap. Here again is Bob Marjanovic.
It's the Moj, Bob Marjanovic, along with Matt Baker and Nick Kowalski from the Lions social media team. Nick, you all right? You've been kind of quiet there. You okay?
I'm in playoff mode here.
Okay, you're playoff mode.
Serious.
That's good. All right.
He's locked in.
We've got CFL Commissioner Randy Ambrosie stopping by in a segment very quickly. Lions linebacker Bo Lacombo in the house, along with receiver Giovanni Robinson. Bo, very quickly, I know this is kind of like a little audible that we made at the line of scrimmage. You're used to that. How eager are you to get onto that field Saturday and get after a team that, what kind of embarrassed you last time out here?
Very excited, man. I mean, it's playoff football, and like you said, they embarrassed us last game, but it's over with. And it's a new season. We're into the playoffs. We're looking very much forward to playing them on Saturday. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great atmosphere. Yeah, really, really excited for the game.
We're talking to Ryan Phillips, defensive coordinator. One of the things I see with RP, he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. He's tired of reading all these numbers that are floating out there about the defense in the second half. And talking to him, it almost seems like things kind of you strayed a little bit from that aggressiveness that you had at the start of the year by maybe kind of getting things, how would I put it? Paralysis by analysis, thinking a little bit too much. Have you seen more of the step back to just go out there and ball?
That's the thing, man. RP did a great job all year, just like motivating us, giving us confidence. And I know at the beginning of the season we started off very strong. We were making a lot of plays, and then we kind of lost track of our way into the second half. So I think with what RP's been preaching to us all season and even into the playoff now, just to go out there, ball out, don't think too much of the game and just enjoy yourself. We're used to this environment. We were in this position last year and we did great. So we're looking forward to just playing, man, just making plays out there, going back to our ways and coming home with the win.
It's like Travis Brown, your linebacker coach, said, don't flinch, man. He goes, you get into a fight, do not flinch. And that'll be the big key on Saturday. Bo, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
That is Bo Lacombo, Lions linebacker in the house here at the Shark Club, corner of Georgia and Canby. It's a busy, busy place. Of course, we heard from Lions President Duane Vienneau. We're going to hear from Tom Gaglardi, the owner of the Dallas Stars, here in a couple of minutes' time. But right now it's time for the Commissioner of the Canadian Football League, one Randy Ambrosie, to stop by. Randy, welcome.
Good to be with you. I'm following Bo Lacombo, for goodness sakes.
Well, there you go. You know what? At least he didn't have to block him back in the day.
So. That would have been a handful.
First off, you've been in town for a few days working with the CFLPA. Just give us a little bit of Cole's notes on what's happening with the CFLPA.
Yeah, we spent the day together. It's good. We've agreed we're going to meet face to face. Basically for as much of a full day as we possibly can, once a month. Just being in the room together, getting a chance to talk things through. We had a really good session today, and there's still lots of work to do, but I feel like just the getting together, getting to know each other, I think it's helping us.
Another successful regular season. We've seen a lot about great television numbers. TSN, Bell, outstanding job as always with the product. What are some of your good snapshots about what you've enjoyed about this regular season?
Well, for me, really, you got to go back to February. The trouble we were facing with Montreal, and then the amazing. And I'll never forget the phone call from Pierre Carl. He said, "Randy, I want to do this. I want to own the Alouettes." The way he handled the transaction was so fantastic, and that really put us on a different path. So what have I loved about this year? In past years, we all know one of the questions was, what about your major markets? Well, look at us now. Look what's happening here with Mar and Duane. What an amazing story here. Look what's happening in Toronto. You know, the Kelly story is phenomenal, but that team, 16 wins.
Yeah.
The attendance has been climbing. The energy is growing in Toronto. And what happened in Montreal, that's a really great story. The TV ratings, up 34% year over year in the 25 to 54 category. Just so many great things going on. I think, candidly, in my opinion, one of the great years in CFL history.
I don't know, when we were looking at the 2023 schedule that dropped, Baker and I, at least, we saw Saturday, November 4th and Saturday, November 11th. Those two playoff weekends moved to Saturday. Like, how exciting is it to have those Saturday games now?
Yeah, I think, we talked about it for a long time. I think this was the right thing for us to do. Frank, again, just very proud of what Bell and TSN have done to promote the Saturday playoffs. It's when we've been playing this year. Our fans are used to Saturday football. I think it's going to be, and frankly, we got two incredibly good games. Here the Western semifinal in Vancouver, the Eastern semifinal in Montreal. They're going to be great football games. Just nothing but things to look forward to.
All right, a couple things I'm going to hit on. There's been a lot of talk about the awards and the process. The East versus West, the single team nominees. Is that written in stone, or is the league open to looking at perhaps different methodology to select the award winners?
Well, I'm not suggesting that we're thinking about or talking about change, but one of the things I do love about the league is we're willing to talk about things. Mm-hmm. And I think if we felt that there's a reason to have that conversation, then we'll have it. It's been one of the great features of this past 7 years for me is I'm with a bunch of people that are willing to have a conversation about things. And look, does it lead to change? I don't know. But if this is an important issue and we'll have lots of people who will weigh in on it, we'll have the conversation and let's see where it takes us. Yeah,
and because, there's been a lot of discussion, especially what happened in Winnipeg, because a lot of people believe that MVP vote between Caleros and Brady Oliveira, that might be for the vote of the league, and you got 5 people determining who that MVP could be, right? So that's where I think a lot of it stems from.
Yeah, and look, you're always one thing you got to love about sports is you love it when you actually have controversy. Yeah. Because it stirs a conversation, it gives people an opportunity to weigh in. For me, I am always happy when someone raises a concern with me. Why? Because it gives us a chance to think about things, and maybe this is the point where we get to say, is this the right way to do it? Well, I
think the thing is, people care.
They
right?
do,
and
oh yeah,
and I that I've kind of said a couple of things about the stats package this year on air, but I say it because I love the Canadian Football League, and what I don't want to see is people who don't like the Canadian Football League or who don't love it have fuel for their fire, right? And that's one of the things where I think a lot of this comes from is because people care about this league so much. I grew up watching the Lions with Don Moorhead and Johnny Musso, for crying out loud, in the early 70s. You might have even played against those guys. Well, maybe a little before your time. The other thing I wanted to touch on, too, when you look at the big picture of the league, and are you happy in terms of where the league is going in the direction that it's heading in?
Very much so. Look, it starts with the strongest ownership group we've ever had in our history right now. That you cannot find me at an era where we had ownership as strong as the group we have right now. So that's a big thing. It's the mindset that this ownership group are bringing to investing in our future, focusing on the long-term path we're on. That's exciting to be part of that. The things that we've been investing in, the marketing platforms, the data platforms, all of the pieces. And now this year we see this massive rise in our TV ratings. Our social platforms are growing dramatically. Our game platforms up 187%. So many really exciting things. Collaboration, cooperation amongst the team presidents, what we call management council. It's a remarkable group of guys who are coming together to figure out how to take the league to the next level. That's exciting.
This guy to my left, your right, Nick Kowalski, do not take him to the league. He's too valuable to the Lions.
Gotcha.
No, but you look at even what the Lions have done in terms of social media. It's been amazing. And people come up to me and they're going, this is NFL quality stuff, right? So, and it's interesting you talk about the Lions and Amar. Do you see teams, and you talk about that management council, but do you see teams looking at what the Lions are doing and saying, hey, maybe we can utilize that template or some things of that template to help our organization?
I think it's exactly that. Look, I think what's happened is you got a group of these are all winners. From Pierre-Carl Palado in Montreal right through to Amar Doman on the West Coast. You got people that are passionate, they're smart, They want to see the league succeed. Of course they're watching what each other are doing. The rising tide will raise all ships. I think what we've got right now is a really good group who all want the league to succeed, and that's why we're seeing such great results.
I will say this. One thing next year, somebody wrote this article and I thought it was a great idea. Grey Cup rematch first week, everybody else on a bye, and that gets rid of those 3-game weeks at the end of the year. And you do that, I think it'll help out your scheduling a little bit, and you'll have a great kickoff to the season. That's somebody else's idea, but I'll take it as my own, just to let you know.
I like it. Yeah. Okay. We'll put that in the hopper.
More with you on Saturday when you join Julio Caravetta at halftime, right?
Looking forward to it. I mean, and we're going to be actually in a game environment, which I happen to like.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Well, Commish, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it, and continued success.
Looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. Lions fans, come out. It's going to be a great game.
It will be, and
Thanks,
it'll be a
Randy.
great atmosphere. Randy Ambrosie, the commissioner of the Canadian Football League, stopping by, giving us his thoughts on the Lions, the league, and, of course, the playoff games this weekend. All right, we'll take a quick break on the other side. Much more coming up from the Shark Club. Kowalski's Trivia, we're going to squeeze that in. We're also going to try to squeeze in Tom Gaglardi, the owner of the Dallas Stars, who's in the house. Of course, Norland Group, also owners of the Sandman, one of our sponsors on the Lion broadcast. So hopefully we'll squeeze him in as well. All that and more coming up on BC Lions on Tap on AM 730 and the Lions Audio Network. Welcome back to Lions on Tap on AM 730 and the Lions Audio Network. It's the Moj, Bob Marjanovic, along with Matt Baker and Nick Kowalski from the Lions social media team. Coming to you from the Shark Club, downtown Vancouver. Big thank you to Murray and his staff. And, of course, a big thank you to Sean Lanigan and the folks at Molson. Lanny in the house tonight.
Love this
He's
spot.
in the Molson Hall of Fame. Of course, the Shark Club right here at George and Canby. It is packed. People watching hockey, watching football, you name it. But it is now time for Nick Kowalski's world-famous trivia, all the way from Mission to Montreal. People await. What do you got for us tonight?
We're talking All-Stars because in case you missed it, 9 of them announced today for the West Division. BC Lions, Hatcher, Hollins, White, Lee, Peters, and more.
Suk
Chung, yeah.
Yep.
But my question for you guys is, 14 BC Lions in their history have been named a West Division All-Star at least 5 times. Name them.
Larry Crawford.
Jovan Olafoye.
Crawford is correct. Olafoy is correct.
G-Roy Simon.
G-Roy is correct.
Manny Arsenault.
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
No.
Short. Brent
Jim Young.
Johnson.
Brent Johnson, Jim Young.
Incorrect for both.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, 5 times.
5 times. Okay.
Nick Hebler.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Wow.
Rick Clausen.
Incorrect. Wow, I'm stumping you guys here.
Yeah, big time. Ryan Phillips.
That's incorrect, too.
Corey Banks.
Corey Banks is correct. There we go. Let's get in the heater here.
Dante
Marsh.
Marsh is incorrect. We have some linebackers here.
Carl Kidd.
Kid is incorrect.
Solomon
Simpson.
Elamimian.
Solomon Elamimian, Adam Big Hill, and Baron Simpson.
Big Hill, there you go. You got more.
Not Simpson?
Not Simpson.
Did you get Big Hill and Elamimian?
Yeah, we
so
got
you got
Elam.
there. You got
Baron Simpson?
incorrect. You have another DB and offensive lineman. This is going to give it away. A punter.
Louis Pasaglia.
Yeah.
He leads them all with 9 All-Stars.
DB, what era?
DB, I believe, would be the 80s.
Not Ken Hinton, not
Keith
Larry
Gooch.
Crawford, not Keith Gooch, not Darnell Clash. Who am I missing?
Cruz.
You guys are also
Cruz?
missing a legendary offensive lineman.
John Blaine.
Tom Hinton.
Tom Hinton's one.
Tom Hinton?
Yeah,
All right.
Hinton's
Gerald
one.
Roper. Tom Hinton
Incorrect.
was the 60s.
You got to go wait.
Legendary offensive
Baker,
line.
we saw him this year.
We saw him this year?
Yeah. Does that give it away? Legend. Conversations with a legend.
What position? Oh,
yeah.
Al Wilson.
Al
Wilson, there you
yeah.
go.
There you go.
The other 2 we got Jim Mills, Eric Carter, and Aaron Hunt.
There you
Aaron
go.
Hunt. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Should have had Jim Mills.
Was a rookie
too.
of the year, Aaron Hunt. Yeah.
That's good trivia.
That's
Good
a good
job
one.
tonight,
Yeah.
Nick.
Stumped you.
Before we
Almost. Yeah.
Before we get out of here tonight, we're thrilled to have the president of Northland Industries, the owner of the Dallas Stars, of course, Northland also owning Sandman Hotels, one of our sponsors on the Lions broadcast. Tom Gaglardi stopping by, and he's in a good mood because his Dallas Stars are kicking a little butt tonight in Edmonton.
Well, it's not over yet.
It's 4-1. It is over. There's like 2 minutes left.
4-2.
4-2.
Well, 4-2.
Yeah.
Okay. We got a little
Still
time.
in control.
First off, thank you for your patronage. I know that dealing with Kelly Watt and Vicky Douglas and that crew, they've been great to work with. And big thank you for supporting the Lions this year with Sandman.
Yeah, well, we've been part of the Lions for decades. I mean, I remember when Bill Comrie owned the team, training camp in Kelowna, team used to stay at our hotel up there. And so it's been a long history, and it's great to see the club now and owned by Amar. Doman. What a wonderful owner. So great for the league and so great for the community.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. You and Amar have a pretty good relationship in just crossing paths. I don't know if you do any business together, but you're a big fan of Amar's, it sounds like.
Yeah, no, I don't, but I admire him, and we've become friends, and he's just been such a wonderful guy in the community, and you know, such a successful business, and this guy just bleeds blue and orange, black and orange. Blue and orange, that's the Blazers, but black and orange.
But
so it's great. We needed an owner who was going to be all in, and this guy's all in, and it's what the province needed as an owner. So I'm so thrilled for Amar. I'm mostly thrilled for Lions fans and you know, the legacy of the BC Lions.
So you grew up a Lions fan?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Who were your guys growing up? Was it Pow Pow and Leon Bright? Or?
All of them.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Like, I mean, Kerry Parker was the guy I loved. Remember?
Yeah. DB.
Yeah. He was my guy. I remember him, and then before that, you know, of course, so many guys like, you know, Bernie Glaire, and played golf with him before.
Mm-hmm.
Just I'd have to like roll my mind back and think of all the great players. But now it's CFL is part of the fabric of Canada. It's a property that we need to protect, and it's nice to see the league in really solid footing now. It's pretty clear to me that, you know, the teams are owned by solid people who care a lot, and I don't think it's the best we've been in a long time, in my opinion. So it's great to see.
Tom, when it boils down to it, you know, never mind all the money in that. I know we were talking earlier with Randy Ambrosie and Duane Vienneau. It's about passion. It's about caring. It's about having that love for the sport.
Yeah,
and never mind football, hockey, you name it.
Yeah, but CFL is a treasure, and it's a Canadian treasure, and we need to protect it. And you know, it has to be economical, you know, for owners to want to own the teams. And so I think, you know, the league's in a pretty good place where we've attracted great ownership, and that's what it's all about. And I look across the league, and the teams are owned by solid people who care. And it's super important to Canada. It's super important to protect the CFL. And, you know, I've been worried about it at times, and but it feels like we're in really good hands now, and it's great to see.
You mentioned the Kamloops Blazers, of course. Nick, Liam, and I had the pleasure of being at a Memorial Cup game our last night in training camp in Kamloops. We saw Quebec playing Seattle, but we saw you out there in the Molson tent, and outstanding party. So that, and your hockey team, of course, has been to a cup final and a conference final again last year. How exciting have these times been for you, Tom?
Well, it's great when you win. It's tough when you lose, you know. It's that simple. So, but it's good to be relevant. You know, the Green Club is, you know, we got a good, solid team, and we should be good for a while, and, you know, been good lately, so it's nice to see. And Blazers have had a good 4 or 5 solid year run, and now we're young, we got to rebuild, so I know what that's all about. We'll do it again.
Well, Tom, we know you're entertaining a group over there with Sean Lanigan. He's kind of holding the fort as we speak, but we'll let you get back there. And by the way,
Thanks.
In case you ever want to buy a CFL team, I mean, hey, if you got a couple of bucks lying around, myself, Hunky, Gilles Defour, we can go in there and run it for you.
Yeah, exactly. We'll franchise in Kelowna. It'll be great.
Hey, Tom, thanks for doing this.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Tom.
There you go. Tom Gaglardi, the owner of the Dallas Stars, Northland Properties, of course, the Sandman Harvest Tournament, formerly in Kelowna, and, of course, a big sponsor and a big fan of the CFL. And as he said, his family's been involved with the Canadian Football League for many years as sponsors and, you know, behind the scenes.
Yeah, you know, a lot of synergies there. He's talking about Amar and a lot of these owners who've had success. It's the community involvement, right?
Yeah.
Grassroots level, hockey, football, and, yeah, breath of fresh air.
Like I said during the interview with him, it's about having that passion, right? I mean, you have to have that love for the game, the love for the sport, and be all in. And the Lions are lucky, and, you know, a lot of the other CFL teams are seeing that as well in terms of the ownership groups. All right. Again, kickoff is 3:30. Matt, very quickly, rundown of what people should expect in terms of all the pregame festivities.
Yeah, and Casey missed it earlier with Duane. Noon is our backyard brunch. $5 mimosas, $5 Coors Lights. I know you're jacked up. Before going on the air, you'll have some time to kill. Moj. Famous Players Band outside at the Plaza and at halftime. And Canucks, Whitecaps expecting to have some presents there and some presents and prizes. So should be a great day. You can't beat playoff football in Vancouver, and let's hope we keep this roll going.
And, of course, all of it will be well documented by Nick Kowalski on social media, on X and Instagram and TikTok and you name it, YouTube.
I'll be out everywhere, so I'll be outside.
Game trailers out on Saturday.
Come say hi to my camera outside at the street party.
He's signing autographs.
I'll film you drinking that mimosa gladly.
Good. All right, that's a wrap for us tonight. Special thank you to our operator on the scene, our engineer, Trevor Martinge.
Engineer, that a boy.
Made it all the way from Agassiz tonight, so nice to hear Team Art here. Big thank you to you, Matt. Of course, Duane, our guest tonight, Lions President Duane Vienneau, Commissioner Randy Ambrosie, and Tom Gaglardi, owner of the Dallas Stars. And again, a big thank you to Murray and his staff here at the Shark Club. George and Canby, if you're in the neighborhood, pop on by. It is happening here. It's a lot of fun. This has been BC Lions on Tap on AM 730 and the BC Lions Radio Network.